he is supposed to exercise freely. If you are to make a forum where the governor has to report to you, he has to come to you, then you will be usurping, you'll be going against the constitutional separation of various powers.
Right. Senator, I want you to first address an issue, what happened in Bomet. Even the people on the ground, as you're trying to talk about this and sell it to the people and make them understand that this is a good thing, it will in essence work for your benefits. They did not receive that well. There was
before even you come to the Bomet incident, I think it's unfair to imagine that any of us have powers that cannot have checks and balance. It's a lie to say we are directed just accountable to people and not under institutions. The bicameral legislature, for example, account to each other, National Assembly and Senate, checks and balance. The county assembly checks the county executive. The Senate oversights the county governments. They are all centers of checks and balance. The county governments as a whole checks the national government. Yeah, there is a system of checks and balances. The president is not just accountable to the people directly; he's also accountable to Parliament, and he's also, in a way, accountable to the counties. This system of checks and balances was such that we focus more on who is the servant, not who is more powerful. When you come to I really don't like discussing things that are meant from hearsay. You know, basically, I was in Bomet. I raised the same issue. It was a conglomeration of issues. My friends who are county executive members who are sitting behind me say no, we don't agree, and I don't think that was basically a good way of, if a governor or a county executive member or a county assembly member shouts over another leader. I don't think it's the kind of process we wanted to go to, and I really have maximum respect for them, and I don't want to discuss them in their absence. But just to say that if every time, and this is the other problem, every time we create a legislative process that will enhance accountability among ourselves, if every time that is unconstitutional or that is anti-devolution, then we will not be able to do anything, because the objective here is to check each other. We are supposed to be peers. We are supposed to talk together. I can tell you for sure, I can mention as many counties, which I don't want to mention now, whereby the leaders have never met since elections. You know, they've never met. The MPs don't know what's going on. The governor does not know what's going on in certain county assemblies. If this bill, for example, was not to pass, it's basically going to create a situation where you will have, again, duplication of allocation of resources.
All right, gentlemen, our time is up. But as we wind up, our viewers have been watching this. And of course, the aim of this discussion was to just shed that light, to have the pros, the cons, the both sides of the question. Your closing remarks on really this bill, and we don't know what will happen in coming days, especially we know the move to have the women reps as the deputy chairs or the vice chairs of these boards has also been seen as an interesting way of getting support from the National Assembly. Some of the analysts have looked at it that way. But your closing remarks on this, you are against it, you think it is unconstitutional, and you hold that position? Yes,
I would say that I'm still positive that the Senate would rise above, look at it, and reject that bill. It is a dangerous chalice that will bring in confusion and breach of the Constitution. Let each organ, let each house, let each member of Parliament play his or her role. If it is oversight, oversight is not direct supervision. You allocate, you wait for the work to be done, you check. But when you want to check when it is being done, then it is no longer oversight. And we would urge the senators to let the governors work and let that bill die its own natural death. Otherwise, it will force us, if it was passed, it will force us to go against the senators for breaching the Constitution.
Are you seeing it being passed?
They can pass it because it's a challenge. They are prepared to get some more powers. If they pass it, they would have breached the Constitution. And we will use the Constitution to have them removed.
Okay. Senator, your closing remarks.
Basically, I think we are in the initial stage of Senate exercising its work and counties doing their work. We have a lot of collaborative efforts. Sometimes in protecting counties, we may make legislations that may not be very beautiful and likable by the counties, and especially county governors. But in most cases, there are many things that we are doing together. Let's take, for example, we are working on now the appeals from the allocation of resources, functions and so forth. I think when we carry out this debate, because people have different opinions about anything that somebody brings forward, I urge people to be more sober, to be more not take it so personal. Let's be, exercise some level of decorum. Let's build a consensus going forward. If our brothers who are governors were to carry out this systemic abuse of any institution that does not support them, then when they need also support, it will not be a very good relationship. So the debate, we welcome any views that people have, convergent views.
Yes.
There will be a public forum next week where the whole stakeholders will come together. They will listen to all those issues. I think the chair of governors, my friend Isaac, was even asking that we meet on Thursday, and I think he had only one amendment, that maybe the governor should be the chair and the others will be
so that is something you said you're okay with.
Everything in a bill, in any bill, anything can be changed based on additional information that comes to the public. But the thing that we, at the very minimum, we need to create a forum where together we speak on the table to ourselves, but not across the table and not shouting at each other. We want to assist the counties to work. The only way we can assist our counties to work is to avoid situation where the legislators are going to gang up and all the time mobilize people, because these counties are in the infant stage.
All right.
If we allow them to be harassed and politically mobilizing people to come and protest, it will be very nice.
It will not be very nice. Kipchumba Murkomen, Senator Elgeyo Marakwet, and Ambrose Weda, lawyer, thank you very much both for coming in, talking about this, shedding light, very important subject as we're getting into this devolved system of governance. Of course, Kenyans need to have an understanding of when there's such a debate in the public, what are the pros, what should we support, and if we're supporting a certain agenda, what's in for us. So you argue it will, in essence, bring the leaders together for better work. You say the senators are looking for some power, some money to be able to control. We'll see what happens in coming days. Of course, a developing story that we'll be following very closely. Remember our question of the day, we are asking you, do you support that push to give more powers to the senators that were, of course, in the management of counties? Let us know what your thoughts are. You've had the discussion this morning. You're in a better place. You've understood the arguments for and against this particular bill.